So our next speaker is Angela Radcliff from VIO, a Hudson Global company. And Angela is the Vice President, Director of Clinical Trials for VIO Global. And she's, for over 17 years, has been responsible for strategic oversight, implementation, and evaluation of clinical trial recruitment efforts and educational initiatives. And the three facts are discovering and settling new lands, figuratively and literally, is her great, was John Alden. How do you like that? The from the Mayflower. Angela's father built her childhood home in Texas from the ground up when the family lived in a tent with an outhouse, proving you can do something meaningful with your life no matter where you come from. And Angela has first cousins, almost 75 first cousins. Wow. And she says here it's enough to fill a phase 2 clinical trial. Certainly coming from Genzyme, I can tell you 75 is more than enough for an orphan disease. And Angela is going to be speaking to us today on the grapefruit tree, paying forward a brother's gift.
So I was asleep when my brother Levi both entered and left our world. When I was just 6, my father crept into the bedroom I shared with, at that point, my 2 other siblings, and said, "You have a new brother, Levi David." And I was so excited. And I was also asleep when we got the phone call at 3 in the morning from my sister-in-law saying, "The Army called, they want to medically retire. Levi, what does that mean?" And we didn't know what that meant. It meant that the Army wanted to take care of my sister-in-law. But it wasn't until 2 o'clock the next day that the Army showed up and they handed my parents a flag and said, "Your son has passed away." And that was a month before 9/11. And I can certainly say that while 9/11 was impactful on us, that was the life-changing moment for our family. And at this point in my talk, I usually say, now, what's the #1 reason people don't join clinical trials? And because people really don't want to disappoint someone who just shared a dead brother story, people shoot up their hands and they usually say, "A guinea pig, a guinea pig." I don't want to be a guinea pig. But the real answer is no one is usually asked to join a clinical trial. And that's really a shame. Levi died of long QT disorder. It's a glitch in the electrical reprogramming of the heart. And we were just finding out about it when the University of Rochester invited us to be part of a study. And they found that gene in our family, which is rampantly prevalent. And because of that, at least 100 lives in my family will be saved over the next couple of generations. And in a disease where the first signs are fainting or death, you kind of want to know whether you have that gene in your family. So if you've lost a loved one, you know it's cathartic. And so maybe I watched too much Lifetime television for women and drank too much wine, but I was going to pull a Sally Struthers, pick up my 2 kids, move to Africa, just do it, just be out there helping the world somehow. And that was a great plan, but it didn't work out. And so I decided to go into patient recruitment for clinical trials instead, and I've been doing that ever since. I find it a deeply meaningful way to help the world. And I think everyone here wants to help someone, and that's why when we see the hurricanes and you know, we build, you know, houses in Haiti and we give to our brothers, sisters, Alzheimer's, autism, breast cancer walks, we just want to help. But I have this crazy idea that if for every $1 we gave to one of those walks, we would just participate in a trial, we would revolutionize medicine. We would save hundreds of thousands of lives, and maybe people would realize that that gift, that $1, could have a greater ROI. Now, most of you are old enough to remember the Truth campaign for smoking, and thanks to that campaign, our children will never even consider smoking. It is not cool anymore to smoke, thanks to the Truth campaign. And what if we were able to create a Truth campaign around research and participation? What if instead of sending lives on Candy Crush Saga, we just passed on the word about clinical trial participation? And this feels like a really huge mission for one person, and I get overwhelmed, and then I think about grapefruit. Grapefruit was a tree planted by my brother Levi in an old chipped coffee mug. He pulled the seed out of his lunchbox and he took it to my mom and she said, "Sure, you can plant it. I'm sure it'll grow." You know, didn't want to disappoint him. And it's a good thing she didn't, because grapefruit did grow. It grew, and it lived until just a couple of years ago. And it was a witness to our childhood, and it was drug in and out of houses by my brothers, inside, outside, to keep it alive. It was moved while they started families and moved forward, and really was another member of our family. Now, that's my family now, and I can tell you that are in either medicine or horticulture of some sort, and I think it's our need to cultivate things, to grow things, and leave a lasting memory behind for Levi's memory. And that's the last picture of him. While he was in Korea, he picked Christmas gifts for us because he knew he wouldn't be home. And he picked this painting for me. And he told my sister-in-law he wanted me to see the amazing woman that he knew his big sister to be. And that wasn't something I believed at the time. So I intend to continue to plant the seeds of participation to create a verdant grove in his memory. And I certainly hope that you'll join me in that. Thank you.